All right, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and League of Legends lovers, welcome back. Every 2 weeks, like clockwork, we out here again with our Giga Brain, our Mega Mind, to react to the patch notes and tell you what's good, what's bad. If Riot finally took their heads out of their asses and is gonna buff ADC, because I feel like ADC sucks dick. But anyway, let's get right into it because I don't have too much time as always. So let's see what's going on in the world of League of Legends. So, patch 13.7. Hear ye, we've successfully managed to reduce the influx of poros and hats that tried to take over the Rift this past weekend. For those of you who don't know what that's referencing, it was April Fool's this weekend, and they added a little fun, cute little mode to normal blind pick, and I actually played it. I actually really enjoyed it. It was just you collect a shit ton of hats, and there's random poros that pop up. It was actually really nice. I actually really enjoyed it. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed the shenanigans while they lasted. Without further ado, patch 13.7. This patch is addressing quite a few popular junglers in professional play, which I don't keep up with anymore, like Vi, Sedge, and everyone's favorite monk, Lee Sin. Wow, they're actually going to nerf Lee Sin. We're starting balance work now to get to the meta, or to get the meta in good shape for Worlds, or not Worlds, my apologies, mid-season Invitational, which means knocking top tier picks down a few pegs. And then there's going to be pro-oriented buffs in the next few patches. So they're basically just caring about pro play because that's what brings in the money. So it's not all about MSI though, I lied. We have some other changes this patch, like making Rammus a bit softer, bug fixing the bug, and a bunch of new April Fool's skins. Oh. The next Clash Cup is around the corner. I wonder when they're going to do the next ARAM Cup, because that's the one I want to do. And as a final reminder, all 32-bit clients will no longer be supported as of today when the patch rolls out. More details below, but we don't care because we don't run League on toasters. So anyway, patch highlights, we'll go over the skins later. Starting off with everyone's favorite moo cow, you can't milk those, Alistar. What do I think of Ali? I think Ali is not too bad, honestly. I think it's just the era of mages. I think if a mage is going to be played bot lane, they're going to have more success than Alistar. So that's partly because A, they just do more damage, and damage is king. Why engage on your enemy if they're already going to be dead and you don't even have to go in? Because playing an engaged tank, believe it or not, is not all too easy. It's not all too difficult, but it's not all too easy either. A lot of people in League are pussies, or they're too stupid so they keep going in and they keep dying. So again, it just goes down to what's easier, playing a mage and just killing the lane anyway, or playing an engaged support and killing the lane but having to do work. So they need some way to differentiate, I guess, engaged supports or just tanks in general. I honestly do feel, this is coming from an ADC main, I honestly do feel that tanks are not strong. By the late game, tanks don't feel like tanks, they just feel like everyone else, but they last a little longer. Now, obviously, this doesn't go for the Giga tanks like Rammus, who they're touching this patch anyway. Malphite, Scion, if not building stupid lethality. And, who's the other one? Ornn. Like, those are like Giga tanks. Like, those ones actually feel like tanks, and even sometimes they don't, depending on who you go against. But a lot of the times, tanks don't feel tanky anymore. So, I feel like this is more of a larger issue. But this also hits Alistar, where without his ult, he's just going to get blown the fuck up. So it's very hard to play Alistar correctly. So they need to give him, I think, some sort of a buff. I mean, they're obviously not going to do damage because they don't want him going top, unless Riot's crazy, which honestly, with some of their changes, they have been. But overall, I don't think they're going to nerf Alistar. Unless pro play is the example here, they have to buff Alistar. There's no way in hell they nerf him. Alistar is a big, beefy support that likes to charge his enemies and toss them up into the sky. Yes. As other squishier champions have come to fill similar roles, mages, we want to make sure Alistar is a bit better at doing what he loves, milking his enemies for gold. These base health and armor changes should give him even more beefiness and the ability to brawl harder in the early game. Okay, 44 to 47 base armor. That doesn't affect mages, so that's not a good change. And then the base health is going up by 15. I mean, it's something, but overall, these are weenie changes. This doesn't really fix the issue. The armor is a nice little touch, though, I will be honest. Annie. So I heard Annie, after all the changes, has been pretty good. So most likely we're going to see a nerf. If I had to guess to anything, it's probably going to be the thing that made her good in the first place, Annie's E. So let's see if we're right. Annie has been burning her enemies in the bot lane. Oh, I thought it would be mid. Wow. With her updated Molten Shield. It was the E. Maxing Shield as a support makes sense for its defensive capabilities, but it also gives her a lot of reflection damage and a cheap way to quickly build up stun. We like the idea of Annie helping out allies, but we're bringing the choice between supportive and carry outputs a bit closer. And how are they doing that? They're nerfing the cooldown by 2 seconds, as well as hitting the shield amount by 20. It definitely helps. I feel like this does definitely help. The shield is going to hurt, you just can't spam it as often. Which honestly, as they said too, it builds up to your stun, which, you know, on its own, it doesn't look like much, but once you factor it into everything, I actually think this is an okay nerf. For what they're trying to do, I think this is alright. Will it completely fix the problem? Probably not. Is it a step towards it? Probably. It's not bad. Azir. Oh my god, I see. What the fuck? What the hell is this? What the fuck is this paragraph? I haven't even started my opinion yet. Okay, I'm assuming Azir is getting reworked, so I'm going to make the bold assumption here to say Riot finally got sick of buffing him, nerfing him, buffing him, nerfing him for pro play. So they're going to rework him in some way, and I honestly have no clue, because he's obviously problematic when it comes to the professionals. So what are they doing? Base armor increased, attack speed growth increased, passive duration and cast range increased, Q mana cost increased, stab range decreased, W damage increased, mana cost now decreases, and new recommended skill order. So they're over buffing the fuck out of the W. Why? I'm curious as to why. Not saying this is a bad change, but I'm very curious as to why. Because you'd ideally max Q because you valued poke on Azir. Even though Azir, Azir is supposed to be a late game carry. Please max W now. I like how they just straight up come and tell you, like, this is what you do now. Please do this. There are 3 goals with these changes. First, strongly signal to players that W max is the way to go. Okay, well, obviously they did that. W max is currently the overall, let me see, the stronger build for Azir. Very much easier to balance champion long term. I agree, the W is the whole crux of his kit. It's all about the Sand Soldiers. So, if he's not forced to be balanced around pro play and unending poke in lane, which isn't even supposed to be his niche, it's supposed to be his late game carry potential, then he can be more easily handled in terms of balancing. Please max W now. They're going to say it again. Second, there are a few edges to sand off. Currently, Azir Q can hit enemies while still being out of auto attack range, meaning right-clicking after Q can make him walk forward. That's actually a really good thing they bring forward. That feels like shit. That feels like shit. It's a decent nerf, of course, but a pretty small one, as the ability currently has around 1,200 units of reach, which is going down about 4%. His passive summoning range is being increased to match his would-be attack range. Oh. Okay. Also, please max W now. They're going to keep reiterating it. Wow, this is crazy. They really want you to max W. So there's some direct buffs. A modicum of armor should help him against AD people. Okay. They don't want him going top lane. Makes sense. The attack speed growth allows him to match his prior levels of attack speed per second from W's passive stats while still enjoying higher damage per hit from 13.5. This should make Azir a great high DPS soldier commander while retaining the gains he made from taking away his poke identity. So they just want him to hit harder? I'm confused. With W? I'm so confused. In summary, please max W. So what are they doing? His armor is going up, his attack speed is going up, his passive is lasting longer, and its range is getting bigger. Cool. His Q mana cost is going high, and it's getting lower, which is fine. And then the W. So, let's see this. Let me read this. So overall, the magic damage is getting nerfed. But it's scaling better, I guess. Yeah, it looks like it's scaling better with level. Okay. And then the mana cost goes down. So it looks like the same amount of damage, honestly. This is weird. This is very weird. It looks like you're just gaining the damage later on. But you're losing out on base damage, but you're getting it with levels. Yeah, this is weird. The game will now recommend maxing W first. I feel like people still might honestly max Q unless it's really, really bad. I don't really know the range, but I mean, I guess it's a slight W damage increase. This is weird. We're gonna have to see how this sits. It looks like it's almost nearly identical, except he's slightly worse with the Q. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like Azir might be slightly worse. But anyway, Graves. Um, this might be for pro play, like they said. In regular play, I feel like Graves kind of just sucks ass. So I hope they buff him. But in pro play, he could still be an issue, so I honestly don't know. Passive critical strike bonus increased. Our cooldown decreased early. Okay, so you're actually incentivized to build crit on him, not stupid lethality. That's cool. That's very cool. And his cooldown on his ult is going down. That's very cool too. I honestly think Graves needs it. This is pretty cool. Pretty nice buffs. Oh my goodness gracious Lord Callista. Okay. Um she has to be being used in pro play at this point. Either that or I guess they're finally reworking her to make her usable in normal play. But I think I've seen Callista in the little pro that I have seen. I think Callista has been being played. So they might nerf her, honestly. I don't know. But yeah, let's see. I honestly have no clue where Callista will land because she's not good in regular play unless you're very coordinated with your support. She is like a by the books duo champion. Like she's not bad. She's definitely skill capped. She's not bad, but she's not just face roll your keyboard like Samira and Aphelios were. So I could see her hopefully getting a buff, but I can also see her getting nerfed because of pro. So let's see what she's doing. Attack damage growth increased. Okay. Passive ceremony duration decreased. Callista now is forced to channel. Wow. Okay. Callista has frequently been a pro-bound champion, but hasn't seen much play so far this year, so we're being very cautious with giving her some power heading into mid-season invitational. Now, this is the same reason they'll do anything to Callista, is the same reason they'll do anything to Lee Sin. She's very cool to watch. That's basically it. Callista is a very fun champion to watch. There's a lot of hype moments, especially with the playmaking potential that her and even certain supports can do just, Blitzcrank alone, right? Blitzcrank Callista the Ballista combo is like legendary. So very cool. I'm pretty sure they're buffing her because they want more views. But anyway. Okay. So what are they doing? So attack damage is going slightly up, and then the duration is going from 12 to 8 seconds. But now you have to literally sit there and do it. So before you could kind of just walk away. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's been like that since her release. And for them to change it kind of feels shitty. I don't understand what the point of making it so long is, but I guess it's more just a thematic lore thing. But yeah, this is honestly shit. I don't know why I spent so much time on this. Callista's slightly better. Excuse me. This Black Spirit bullshit is nothing. Katarina XD! Katarina sucks. I'll just come out and say it. Katarina sucks. She's a feast or famine champion. If she's good, there's no stopping her. If she's bad, there's no playing her. She's feast or famine. And like I always say, champions should be in meta and out meta at different times, so maybe they might put her in meta, because God knows she's not that good. Passive APO increased, AP ratio increased, R-based AD ratio decreased, so they want to build AP. Attack speed scaling increased. Wait, what the fuck? Katarina's various builds require some retuning in case we are giving AP builds a slight buff so they stand clear of the other builds. And we're also buffing the AD attack speed builds. So they're nerfing AD but buffing attack speed. To what? Make AD the same as it was but make AP better? You're just going to build AP at this point. There's no reason not to. Unless you really like having lifesteal from like Blade or something. I don't know what the point of this is. Let me see the numbers. Okay, there's a lot of numbers here. This is complicated. So the scaling bonus AD is the same. What the fuck? Okay, the scaling for AP is slightly higher by about 5%. Wow. And then the R is going slightly down in terms of percentages, but slightly up in terms of scaling with attack speed. Not even slightly up, wildly up. Holy shit. I think honestly this is just a straight buff to Katarina overall. I think they definitely want you to build attack speed for some reason though. I guess maybe it's more of a thematic choice. If you can attack faster, you're technically throwing blades faster, but You know, they should honestly make Katarina's ult scale off attack speed with how many attacks she throws out. That'd be cool as shit. Make it like Garani. Make the lovers like, you know, kind of similar. But yeah, Katarina seems slightly better. Okay. Kha'Zix. People might know that I am not a enjoyer of Bug. I hate Bug. I think there's 3 junglers in the game that I would potentially just straight up remove. I don't even want to rework them. I just want them removed. Lee Sin is one of them. Kha'Zix is one of them, and Elise is one of them. These are all champions that all they do is take kills and almost do next to nothing. Granted, they do have their time to shine when the enemy sucks cock. But if the enemy doesn't suck cock, these fucking champions are just blemishes on your game. They're cancers. They take resources and they do nothing. So let's see what this bug fix is gonna be for Bug, because this better be like something good. Q isolation range requirement decreased, W slow decreased, slow versus isolated targets decreased, art buff duration increased. Kha'Zix hasn't had the sting he once had, often relying on his W spam poke and catch fighter builds, which is how he's not supposed to be played. We want to make sure that Kha'Zix, with any of his builds, is actually able to jump on isolated enemies and kill them, which sometimes he's not even able to do, his whole thematic. His isolation mechanic is too skewed towards enemy counterplay, so he has very little leeway on it proccing. So this is kind of the whole thing, right? They really did nail the problem on the head. Number one, when the fuck is an enemy going to be isolated if they can be near almost anything? A minion. I don't know if it can be a tower. It might be a tower. And, you know, an ally, a minion, the jungle camps. Like, if you are near any other entity you can attack, barring maybe a ward, you're not isolated. So if Kha'Zix somehow, by the grace of God, finds you with your pants down and does find you isolated, he should eat your fucking ass. He should honestly eat your whole ass. He should rip you apart. But he doesn't. This champion is garbage. The whole thematic, the whole thing is like cool in essence, but it just doesn't work out to being cool in game because it doesn't happen too often. It's like you're supposed to be this hunter who can weave in and out of a fight to, like, you know, catch the enemies alone off guard. Almost no one's gonna be alone unless they're fucking stupid, and even if they are alone, you probably won't win because you suck. Like, it's so stupid. This thing is so stupid. I hate Kha'Zix, but anyway. A lower isolation range requirement means the enemy is substantially more likely to be isolated. It is a buff. Yeah, according to Riot. We expect fighter Kha'Zix to remain powerful, but these changes should make all of his builds more competitive. That is true. So his Q isolation range is 375 instead of 425. They're knocking off 50 range off of it. Not bad, but I feel like it should be smaller. Honestly, they should make it 300. Make it 300, we have a deal. But a step in the right direction. Void Spike slows going down. Slows overall are going down. That's fine. Kha'Zix should be less annoying than he already is. He should be removed. And the buff duration for Void Assault is now 12 seconds. So you have a 12-second window to activate. Okay, Bug is slightly better. We'll see if it's really anything crazy, but I don't think it is. Lee Sin. This character, like I just said, I think he's ass. Obviously, in pro play, he's going to be good because these are the best players in the world. This is an extremely skill gap champion. And even then, if you don't like get ahead early, I mean, honestly, they could still make it work in pro play. But even then, having Lee Sin is a detriment to your team. Lee Sin fucking sucks dick. It's a shame he's so fun. It's a shame he's so beloved. He needs to get the fucking Skarner treatment. He needs to be spit on, he needs to be hated, and he needs to be reworked. Fuck this character. Fuck Lee Sin. But anyway, let's see what we're doing. So, base AD decreased, base armor decreased. Yep, it's because of pro play. You've seen Lee Sin on the big stages like MSI and Worlds. It's no surprise that he's the favorite jungler at the pro level, but we don't want him to be so strong he overshadows all other viable junglers. So, this is interesting because Lee Sin, like I said before, is like Kalista, where they really like having him in MSI and Worlds because he's a playmaker. Now, it's ironic that a lot of the pro players like him. I guess they could do a lot on him. He is very versatile in the right hands. It's just, God, when the game, like, drags on, he just does nothing, man. He just really does nothing. But I'm actually surprised they're nerfing him, unless he must be that oppressive. Because, again, they want to see him in big competition, so I'm actually shocked by this. So let's see what they're doing. Base AD is down by 2, base armor is down by 2. Okay, Wiener changes Lee Sin slightly worse. Okay, I wasted my time. Olaf. So I've been seeing Olaf kind of do some cheese shit. I've seen Olaf top a lot more. more than I used to at least. Olaf mid even, some Olaf jungle. Olaf is very, very dependent. Excuse me. Olaf is very, very dependent on his early game. If you start going on the early game, you don't stop. And that's all of Olaf's fantasy. It's like old Pantheon. You keep going, you go as fast as you can until you eventually crash later on in the game, because then you get ignored and you get killed. But Olaf is pretty good. He's pretty cheese. He's honestly a cheese character. So is he too cheese? Let's see. Let's find out. I don't know. I haven't seen him too much, but when I've seen him, he's kind of just into it. Anyway, let's see what they're doing. Passive attack speed reduced early. Okay, so they're nerfing him. He's too oppressive. Q base damage decreased. Olaf has been at the top of the top lane food chain for about 3 to 4 patches. Now his win rate is stable at 52 to 53, and Riot doesn't like that. His early Q damage gives him the ability to run down lane opponents who try to interact with the wave and win almost every trade due to high base damage and cooldown refresh. Exactly, just what I said. This change is meant to lower his early Q power. Olaf's passive also plays into the early game dominance, so adjusting the attack speed at early levels too. So yeah, basically they just don't want him to insta-win every early exchange if you're good at playing Olaf, which is fair. It's very... Like, if you go Nasus into Olaf, kiss the lane goodbye, basically. You're just fucked. Especially once you hit 6. But anyway, yeah, his passive is going down by 10%. That's Wiener. And then his Q is going down by 5 AD. That's Wiener. Okay, I wasted my time again. Rammus. So we kind of already got spoiled in the beginning. Rammus is getting nerfed. Do I think he deserves a nerf? No. I think Rammus should be very niche towards armor teams. Again, there's not many tanks that in my mind are actually tanks. They don't feel like tanks anymore. The only ones left are the Giga tanks. I guess Rammus is technically one of them if it's only against AD. Like if your entire enemy team is AD, sure. But aside from that, I feel like Rammus is just not that good. But let's see. Rammus has a high win rate champion for about half of all players over the last several patches. Okay. It's too high. We can't let this roll anymore. So they're nerfing him. How bad are they nerfing him? Will I waste my time? Oh, actually, no. It's 20% of total armor. So they're taking away 20% of his armor. That's actually crazy. Holy shit. That is a big nerf. I feel like they've been, like, mass nerfing Rammus recently in all the, like, last patches. I feel like Rammus has just gotten nerf after nerf after nerf, which is interesting. I didn't know he was that good. I haven't really seen him. Anyway, Sejuani. I recently played Sejuani in the April Fool's shit, and I'm going to be honest, she's kind of fun. I did the most damage on my team somehow building full tank. So, I think she's probably a little overtuned. I think she's probably going to get nerfed, and I can actually speak on this time because I played her for 2 days. So, passive damage cap against monsters decreased. Q cooldown increased. R cooldown increased. So, they're simultaneously trying to bring all the problematic junglers down, which, again, it's sad to see because Sejuani is another jungler that's really fun to see in pro play. You know, the big ult, like, Q combos and stuff. Very cool. Very nice setup. But I guess they want things to be a little bit more tame, which is weird. But anyway, Sejuani is a very safe early pick for pro play since she brings a lot of utility to people who are melee, like Sylas, Jax, Fear, and so on. So she basically permacams top. She does a little bit of everything too well. That's kind of true. She clears really well. She's decently healthy because of her passive. Great ganks. Early, mid, and late, she's pretty good. I don't see any really downside to Sedge, honestly. Maybe the only thing is her clear speed, but that's about it. We want to reduce her ability to quickly clear objectives. Okay, well, there it is. With coordinated melee teammates and to increase her overall downtime with nerfs to Q and R. This way, Sejuani will still need to be committed. Okay, cool. So, damage cap against monsters for her passives are going down, so you're going to take a little bit more damage, which is fine. You're pretty healthy in the jungle anyway. The Q is going up by 1 second. That's fair. And then the R is going up by 10 seconds. This is honestly fine. These are okay nerfs. These are whatever. Thresh. What do I think of Thresh? They buffed Thresh before. I haven't really seen Thresh in regular play. I don't know enough about pro play. I haven't seen him there from what I have seen, so I honestly don't know if he's going to get buffed or nerfed. The fact that I haven't seen him and I keep seeing mages, I think it's, again, more of a systematic thing. They just need to nerf mages on the whole, or instead of nerfing mages, just bring everything up. But eventually we're going to have to deal with the power creep again and need another durability patch, which, you know how much I love that one. But, yeah, either they're going to buff Thresh up or they're going to nerf mages, so they're gonna buff Thresh up. They have to. Q cooldown refund on hit decreased. Whoa! Patch 3.4 gave Thresh a lot of changes and has support players around the world hooked on Death Sentence. His opponents have also been hooked on Death Sentence far too frequently, so they're nerfing it. 3 to 2 seconds if you hit Q on refund. Honestly, that's fair. I felt like that was one of the sleeper OP things about Thresh. If you build cooldown, you can CC someone for a long ass time. Now, granted, I thought it was OP, not oppressively OP, even though it kind of was, but it kind of needs to be because, again, what's popular in the bot lane? Not engage supports, mages. So you have to have Thresh and Leona and them keep up with low ass cooldowns. So, I mean, they're still keeping his low ass cooldown, they're just shaving a second off of it, but a second matters. A second definitely matters. Slight nerf. Not a waste of my time, slight nerf. Vinegar! Interesting. They're probably nerfing him because he's probably still too good. The other nerfs they did have been Wiener. Like, it's just Wiener. I played Veigar ADC, and it was fucking disgusting what I did. Veigar ADC is safe. It scales harder than any AD ever could. And it's just stupid. It's kind of broken. Like, honestly. Mages in the bot lane. Kind of broken. Not fair. What are they doing? They have to nerf him. I'm sad they're going to nerf him, but they have to. There's no way. QAP ratio now scales with level. Okay. It didn't before. WAP ratio now scales with level. EVFX adjusted. RAP ratio now scales with level. So they want him to be an ultra scaler. Veigar has been strong in the bot lane for a very long time because of his relatively bad wave control and good gank setup. Excuse me. And that fits better in bot lane than in mid lane. That's very true. We still feel most Veigar players want to play a mid. No, they don't. And we want to play support, and we want to support that as his primary role. We're taking this opportunity to nerf him in a way that pushes him into scaling to be more level dependent, which biases towards solo lanes. Half true, half not. If you're making him weaker overall early, guess where he's going to go? Bot lane. Because if you make him weaker overall early, guess what he's going to get bullied out of? Mid lane. I don't agree with these changes at all. These are stupid ass changes. Granted, they are buffing him later on because he's getting more power later, which, as if Veigar needed that. This is a whole like misinterpretation of the issue and not a right solution. This is honestly ass. Veigar can no longer hide his EV effects from enemies by placing it inside certain walls. Okay, that's fair. And then the AP ratio on his ult is going higher at the end. Wow, it's actually not increasing like the other ones, though. I mean, that's fair, too. Again, Veigar does not need help late game. That's the one thing he doesn't need help with. He needs help early game, but it's balanced out by his strong power late game. So by making his earlier weaker, why would you think that would push him into a solo lane where he can't do anything? He's gonna need the support even more now. It's so stupid. This is a stupid change. V. So apparently, like we read before, she's getting nerfed. She is too damn good. So let's see what they're nerfing about her. I don't really think Vi's that crazy, but she's probably really good in the early and mid game, and she's way better than Lee in the late game. But that's just me. Q base damage decreased, AD ratio increased, E base damage decreased, ratio increased, AP ratio increased. Okay, so they're nerfing her early. So she's beating up the pro scene thanks to her ability to build tanky and still deal large amounts of damage. We'll go with these changes to bring the damage down her tankier builds. Okay. But why her AP ratio? Like, what? How bad are they nerfing it? Okay. It's going from 55 to 45, but it's going up in scaling. That's fine. And then, for some reason, the E's getting an AP scaling that's better. Oh, with an AD scaling. Okay, never mind. That's good. That's good. Overall, you're going to just do more damage as the game goes on, which honestly, that's fine. People still might build her tanky, though. I don't think this will dissuade them from building her tanky, because I honestly think she's better as a tank than building DPS. But that's just me. Or not tanky, but a fighter. Building as a fighter. Wukong! Wukong Monkey is ass. This guy needs a buff. I honestly don't know how to fix him. He's also another one where they reworked him. He came out ridiculously OP and they nerfed him into the ground. It's like, how do you balance this character? I honestly don't fucking know. But hey, maybe they'll find it eventually, right? What are they doing? Basic attack damage decreased. Wow. W cooldown adjusted. E bonus attack speed decreased. Wukong Jungle hasn't been monkeying around in pro play and solo queue. In this patch, we're looking to tone down his early game pressure. Damn. What the hell? What the fuck? Okay, so 2 AD, cool. The W cooldown is going up by 2. That actually hurts a lot. Holy shit. The W is one of his linchpins of his kit. Having that go up by 2 seconds hurts. And then Nimbus Strike, 5%. Okay, Wukong's slightly worse. The W is actually not slight, it's medium. Wukong is mediumly worse. Jesus. I don't know if he deserves it. I don't feel like Monkey is good. Holy shit, Yasuo? They're actually changing Yasuo? What the hell? Are they changing his like mid lane, or are they changing him going AD? Because you know what's sad? AD Yasuo is like viable. It was always sort of seen as a troll pick, but I actually think it can compete with certain ADCs now, just in the bot lane in general. Because the bot lane is a joke now. But anyway, I will be highly shocked if they nerf him. They have to buff him. There's no way they're nerfing him. Passive shield stronger at later levels. Is that it? Are you serious? After the marksman item adjustment, Yasuo fell behind the power curve. Oh yeah, because all the ADMs got nerfed. Yeah. Okay. So the shield is going up from... Holy shit, it's going up by 100. Oh wow. At least later on. Interesting. Okay, and what about the damage increase per stack now scales? Wait, but you could stack it more? Holy shit, he's gonna do more damage. Holy fuck. Wait, that's an insane change. So instead of doing 50% more damage, it's gonna go up to 100 now late game. Holy moly. That's insane. So you're definitely more incentivized to like use it on minions first before going in now. Wow. That is wild. That is actually wild. Yasuo might have gotten not a huge buff, but a medium buff as well. The same way this is a medium nerf to Wukong, this is a medium buff to Yasuo. Oh, Zeri, my girlfriend. You know, spoiler alert or fun fact, I think Zeri is one of the cutest champions in League of Legends. Cute slash hot, depending on how old she is. I think she's so cool. I vibe with her personality. I vibe with her gameplay. I vibe with everything. Her looks, her charm, her gameplay. Like she's just amazing. I fucking love Zeri. But going on to the gameplay, they changed it, they nerfed it, they reworked it, they nerfed it, they nerfed it, they nerfed it, they nerfed it, they reworked it. Where did it land? I don't know. I feel like she's OP again because I've been seeing a lot of people complain about her. But I think it's sort of a feast or famine champion. I mean, I think at the end of the day, in the hands of a professional, she is a I kind of just beat you sort of thing if I'm better than you. So, I don't know. I think Zeri is very... She feels unfair to play against, but I don't know if she necessarily is unfair. It's really hard. If I had to guess, though, they're probably going to nerf her because I feel like they just hate ADC. I'm going to be very sad if they nerf her, though. Health growth decreased. Oh boy, here we go. Passive shield absorption decreased. RAD scaling decreased. Zeri's been a mainstay of the marksman meta throughout the year and finally been able to risen to the absolute top with buffed items and nerfed competition. With newfound durability in her runes and marksman items, she doesn't need as much innate durability. We're zapping some of her guaranteed burst damage, okay, which is uncharacteristically high for a hyper-scaling DPS champion. So the health growth is going down, so she's slightly less healthy, okay. The passive, they're kind of nerfing kind of hard. See, this is weird, because if the enemy doesn't have a shield, you essentially have no passive unless your teammate has one. And by teammate, it's mainly going to be the support. And we know who supports are now, they're mages. So realistically, your passive is very... It could be there, or it can do nothing. And passives like that, you know, they have to be feast or famine. Having it be from 60 to 45% damage dealt, I think it's okay. But it's tough. Zeri is supposed to be a shield counter. She kind of still is because she still gets the move speed from it, but it's weird. I don't know how I feel about them nerfing the passive of all things. Wait, what are they doing to her ult? How bad is the ult nerf? 100 to 85. Okay, they're kind of going a little bit extra on these nerfs because they're really sick and tired of Zeri running amok. So honestly, I don't really blame them. But they didn't touch the base damage though, they just touched the scaling, which honestly is fine. A lot of Zeri's damage should come from her basics anyway, so the ult not nuking people is kind of okay with me. These are fine. These are okay nerfs, I guess. The passive is a little bit on the deeper end, but still reasonable. But that's all the champion changes. Nothing really interesting at all this patch. Okay. Death's Dance. What do I think of Death's Dance? Excuse me. I think Death's Dance is pretty much only for melees. The fact that you could build it on range, I feel like it's just a wasted item. The range like benefit you get from it compared to melee is so ludicrously bad. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a decent item. I've seen it around. I don't know what they're gonna do to it though. We did a large pass on fighter items in an effort to sharpen each item's choice and generally reduce unneeded ability haste. So Death Stance hasn't been that good, so they're nerfing it. Let me see. Fighters have struggled when on even footing in duels. We're reverting Death Stance to give fighters slightly more power in elongated fights. Okay, so they're just reverting it. So I think it's supposedly, well, it looks just worse overall. So I guess it's just worse. Catalyst. What am I thinking? Catalyst. Catalyst is not bad. I feel like it doesn't have too much of an effect on the early game. I mean, it's there. It probably has an effect over time, but you don't notice it. I think maybe it's maybe a little misunderstood, but I honestly don't know. I can't believe they're spending this much time on the components of all things. So, what are they doing? Catalyst Advance in its current state is significantly cheaper than Lost Chapter. That it is. It's like 700 gold versus 1300. Not only is that the preferable scaling item, but due to the lower cost, it has become a better laning phase option than Lost Chapter, which seems counterintuitive for a scaling item. This adjustment should make better itemization choices. So what are they doing? They're increasing the health. They're increasing the cost. Okay, cool. Oh, it's not 700. It's 1100. Oh shit, I had it wrong. Maybe I was thinking of the old one. Abyssal Mask is going up, and Rod of Ages is going up, or is going down rather. Okay, they're both going down. Okay, cool. I don't really know what to think of this. This seems weird, but whatever. Grievous Wounds items. We felt it was counterintuitive that these items did not apply their unique effects to damage shielded enemies. So this is inconsistent with other on-damage effects like Leandri's. So basically you have a shield and someone hits you with a Grievous Wounds attack, you're still going to get Grievous, even if your shield is still up. That's fair. That's very fair. Actually, I don't know, because it takes away the power of shields. I feel like they're very scared of shielding and healing. Healing kind of got, just kind of passed around and like done dirty. Now I kind of feel like it's shielding, which is interesting because we have Shadow Flame. We have I think the AD equivalent, but I forgot if we do. And just in general. Excuse me. Just in general, I don't know. Feels like they don't like shielding too much. But anyway, ARAM adjustments, we don't give a fuck. Oh, actually, they're nerfing Karthus. Wow. Interesting. Clash Mount Targon Cup, no one fucking cares. Off-screen pings. Paying attention to the minimap to see your teammates' pings while focusing on gameplay can be difficult. What? What are we, children? And actively aiming, dodging a skill shot can make this even more challenging. To help, we are introducing some off-screen pings. Interesting. Off-screen pings display regardless of ping location, enemy missing proximity pings. Okay. Behavioral system, they keep improving the behavior even though the teammates I'm getting with are worse and worse and worse, so I believe they're lying. Challenges, you can now see your friends' challenges on their profile card. No one cares. Competitive, okay, let me see this. This is what I care about. We've tested lower surrender times and normals for everyone for several patches now. The impacts have met our expectations, slightly increased surrender frequency, leading to slightly lower average game times, which already is an issue in my opinion. We believe this change is right to allow teams more agency in choosing which matches to play out. I think Riot is finally understanding that quicker games are better because people don't have long attention spans, and they don't, at least the majority of them, don't like sitting in a game for more than 30 minutes. Because either A, you're being held hostage, or B, you're not having fun. And to not have fun for 30 minutes definitely takes a toll on you. Just like talking straight without drinking for 40 straight minutes. But anyway, I hope this means they're putting it into ranked because a lot of games are just done. Teammates don't want to win. So, in ranked solo and ranked, wait, what? In ranked solo and ranked flux queues, normal surrender 4 out of 5 or 70% of team members must agree to pass the vote is available at 20 minutes. Now to 15! Let's fucking go! Unanimous early surrender requirement has been removed. That is amazing. This is good. No more hostage holding. We'll be running an experiment on normal draft in the other regions, and no one cares about them. So, autofill is removed. Wait, what? There's no more autofill? All players in a party must choose unique primary assignments. Oh, damn. Okay. If a player chooses a priority role as their primary assignment, they do not need to pick a secondary assignment. If they choose a non-priority role, they need to pick a secondary. Or fill. Okay. That's interesting. And then 32-bit client, basically, it's dead. They want to make League better going into the future, so get rid of your toasters. Excuse me. What the fuck is this? Showcase Milestones Autoclaim. We're happy to share that Showcase Milestones will now have an autoclaim feature that will run after each showcase ends, starting with Broken Covenant. After the Broken Covenant showcase ends, the autoclaim tool will run on April 1st to grant any rewards you may have forgotten or didn't have time to claim. The fact that this wasn't in the game to begin with means you actually would have paid for things, and if you forgot to claim them, you would have lost them. That is actually disgusting. That's actually disgusting. The fucking showcase shit is so stupid, honestly. I hate this shit. The showcase is so dumb. This does not apply to Masterwork milestones since the track does not deactivate or expire, which makes sense. Okay. This also does not apply to the event pass milestone since you are required to claim and use event tokens prior to the event shop closing. That makes sense as well. Okay, cool. So this is just for people spending money on things that can go away that they can lose. Honestly, that's pretty fine. Bug fixes, we don't care. And skin bug fixes, I don't care. Okay, cool. Now we have the newest skins. I actually haven't seen these. I've seen some of them. I've seen the Kindred one and the Kled one because those ones got teased. I did not see Kiddly and Shiba Yumi. I'm actually curious to see these. Let me pull these up on Google real quick. Let me take a quick look at these. So, just looking at the splash arts here. Let's take a quick look at these. We have Kled and Kindred. I mean, you know, well, listen, we all know I'm a freak. I think Kindred is fucking kind of arousing, not gonna lie. So Kindred in this shit, she looks a little weird, but I like her getup. It's arousing, not in the sexual way. Let me put that straight. I'm no furry. Or maybe I am. I don't know. We don't know. Well, I don't know what I am. But anyway, um, I like Kindred's whole design of like she's like anime. Kindred is very anime looking with the hairstyle, with the eyes and everything. She doesn't look like a real goddess of death. She looks like an anime goddess of death. I think this is really cool. I really like the Kindred skin. I think it's super cute. And then moving on to Nidalee. So Nidalee has this weird looking cat transformation, but without the cat transformation, she's fucking hot as sin. Like, oh my god, she is fucking sexy. She is beautiful. And right next to her, we have Shiba Inu Yumi, which is kind of ugly. Nidalee skin probably really good. Honestly, not bad skins overall in this whole thing. I'm not gonna go over them. I'm not gonna review them because I don't really care. Um, Here's the chromas, I guess. Pretty cool. Yeah, the Yumi skin, honestly, I think all the Yumi skins are kind of ass. Just because she's always in a little costume. You can't really change much there. I wish they would change her model instead of just putting her in a fucking costume as always. But I guess they get a pass because it's April Fool's. It's April Fool's skin. But the Kindred skin is really nice. I really like the Kindred skin. Nidalee skin is great. And Kled skin is amazing. Kibblehead Kled. Amazing. And Kiddly. Oh my god, these are so silly. But overall, that's the patch. Honestly, this patch is more annoying than anything. I really hate when they like do stuff for pro play because it's so far removed from regular play, which is what I love playing the most. I still count ranked as regular play too. They did take care of some things that needed to be taken care of, namely Olaf. I think Olaf did need to be taken care of. Everything else is kind of just whatever. Like, it's not bad. The Azir change I'm still confused about. Annie change is fine. Alistar change is okay. I just feel like they didn't go far enough with some things. And they're obviously trying to be careful because it is for pro play. So, overall, this is just a really boring patch where some changes were kind of like, okay, these just kind of make everything worse for everyone but professionals. So, honestly, I'm just gonna rate this one 6. This one is a 6 out of 10 Mark Merrills. This one's boring. Some stuff, you know what? No, fuck it. 5. This one is a 5. This one's like whatever, honestly. Barely anything good. Like, barely anything exciting, barely anything good. This is a boring ass patch just for pro play. Fuck this patch. 5 out of 10 Mark Merrills. You know what? Fuck it. 4 out of 10 Mark Merrills. This patch fucking sucked dick. But yeah, 4 out of 10 Mark Merrills, that's about it. Decent skins though. But I'm not gonna factor those into the patch because the patch is balanced and skins are visual and that's different. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. That's gonna be it for patch notes. I will see everyone again in 2 weeks. As always, I stream every day, or try to, at twitch.tv/Tecnics channel. Y'all can come over and hang out and watch me do this shit live and make me not lonely. But anyway, that's about it. Hope everyone enjoyed. Eee!